The first time Kale Draven sat on the cold pavement outside the subway station, he almost laughed at himself. Not because it was funny, but because it was absurd. 3 hours earlier, he had been in a glass-walled penthouse overlooking the glowing skyline of Seoul, dressed in a custom suit stitched in Italy. Now, his clothes were torn, his face smudged with dirt, and a worn cap shadowed his eyes. In front of him sat a dented metal bowl with a few coins he had placed there himself. Kale Draven, heir to one of the most powerful billionaire dynasties in Asia, had chosen to disappear. All his life, people had loved him, for the wrong reasons. Women smiled too quickly. Friends stayed too close. Business partners spoke too carefully. No one saw him, they saw his name, his wealth, his future. And it suffocated him. After another relationship ended with the same painful truth, "I don't know if I ever loved you, or what you have." Kale made a decision. If he wanted something real, he had to become someone with nothing. So he vanished. Weeks passed as he lived a life he had never imagined. Hunger sharpened his senses. Silence hardened his thoughts. And people, real people, revealed who they truly were when there was nothing to gain. Some ignored him. Some mocked him. Some pitied him. But very few cared. Until one evening, beneath a restless rain, everything changed. Water poured from the sky, soaking the streets. Kale sat beneath a broken shelter, his body tense against the cold. People rushed past, eyes forward, avoiding him like he didn't exist. Until she stopped. "Hey, you'll fall sick if you stay here." Her voice was soft, but steady. Kale looked up slowly. She stood there holding a faded umbrella, her presence calm yet firm. Her clothes were simple, her face carried traces of exhaustion, but her eyes were alive. "I'm fine," he muttered. She didn't move. Instead, she stepped closer and knelt beside him. "No, you're not." Without hesitation, she reached into her bag and pulled out a small food container. "It's not much, but you can have it." Kale stared at it. Rice? Stew. Simple food. Yet it felt heavier than anything he had ever been given. "Why?" he asked. She blinked. "Why what? Why help me?" She gave a small, almost confused smile. "Because you're human." That moment carved itself into his heart. Her name was Zerai Nkem. A Nigerian immigrant trying to survive in a foreign land that often reminded her she didn't belong. She worked long hours, earned little, and carried responsibilities far beyond her years. Yet she still chose kindness. She kept coming back. Kale listened as she spoke about her struggles, sending money home, facing silent discrimination, enduring exhaustion, but never letting bitterness take over her spirit. And for the first time in his life, Kale felt something unfamiliar. Peace. Zerai didn't see a billionaire. She saw a man. One evening, as city lights flickered alive, she said quietly, "You're different." Kale tilted his head. "Different how?" "You don't complain," she said. "Most people in your position would be angry, but you're not." He paused. "I've seen enough of anger," he replied. She nodded slowly. "Me too." Silence settled, but it was warm. Safe? And somewhere in that quiet space, Kale realized something he hadn't planned for. He was falling in love. Not with wealth. Not with illusion. But with truth. Days turned into weeks. Weeks into months. Kale stayed longer than he ever intended. Because with Zerai, everything was real. Until reality found him. One afternoon, a sleek black car stopped near the street. Kale's chest tightened. He knew that car. His father's empire. The driver stepped out, scanning the area before locking eyes with him. "Mr. Draven, we've been searching for you." "Mr. Draven," she repeated slowly. "I can explain," he said. But she stepped back. "No, don't." But it cut deep. "You lied." "I didn't lie," he said quickly. "I just didn't tell you everything." Her eyes searched him. And this time, she saw it. The posture. The presence. The truth. "You're rich," she whispered. He nodded. "A billionaire's son." Another nod. "So I was what? Part of some experiment?" "No," Cale said firmly. "Never." "Then what was I?" His voice softened. "The reason I stayed." Tears filled her eyes. "You should have told me." "I was afraid." "Of what?" "That you'd stop seeing me the way you do." She shook her head slowly. "I trusted you." Silence fell between them. Heavy. Painful. "I need time," she said. Cale didn't follow. People like the man he had once pretended to be. People like Zerai. News spread. And eventually, it reached her. One afternoon, Zerai stood outside the building. She didn't know why she came. But something pulled her there. Inside, she saw him. Not in luxury. Not above others. But among them. Listening. Helping. Present. He saw her. Everything paused. Then he walked toward her. "I hoped you'd come," he said. She crossed her arms. "I saw what you're doing." He nodded. "I meant everything I said." "And this?" she asked. "Is this real?" "Yes." No hesitation. She studied him carefully. Looking for deception. For cracks. But she found none. Only change. "You hurt me," she said. "I know. And trust isn't easy for me." "I understand." Silence lingered. But softer now. "I don't fully trust you yet," she admitted. "You don't have to," he said gently. "Then what?" He smiled. "Let me earn it." Zerai looked at him for a long moment. Then, she nodded. "Okay." Not forgiveness. Not rejection. A beginning. And sometimes, that's more powerful than both. Over time, they rebuilt. Slowly. Honestly. Stronger than before. Cale learned that love isn't found through disguise, it's built through truth. Zerai learned that broken trust can heal, but only through consistency. And together, they created something rare. A love not built on wealth. Not built on status. But on understanding. And in the end, Cale realized something that changed him forever. He didn't need to become a beggar to find true love. He just needed to become real.